Hello and welcome to my Legion's Blood Dead Knight tanking guide. So, on this guide I'll go through your talents, your artifact weapon, your stat prio, your rotation, all that good stuff. So you can get ready as fast as you can on this Legion launch. So without further ado, let's start with the talents, shall we? So on the first tier we have here Heartbreaker, Bloodworms and Blood Drinker. Now the best talent out of the three is Heartbreaker. It will increase your runic power of generation, and since the other two aren't giving you good enough healing or regeneration, whatever you want to call it, this one outperforms the other two, so it's the best choice. On the second tier we go with Rapid Decomposition. Now this will not only increase the damage from your death and decay, but it will also increase your runic power generation, just like the talent before, and the other two are also underperforming, so this one is the best one. Now on the third tier we go with Ossuary. Now this will increase your maximum runic power, so you can store up more death strikes to use, and it also decreases the cost of your death strike when you have more than 5 bone shield charges. So this makes it the best talent because it will allow you to use death strike more often, and allows you, like I said, to store up more death strikes in case you need them. I want to point out anti-magic barrier. Now this talent may be helpful if you want to avoid being one-shot. If this proves helpful in any boss, you can use this one as well. Now for the fourth tier, right now the best of the three is Red Thirst. Vampiric Blood is already a very powerful trait, ability, so what this will do is allow you to use it more often, which is always good. Now for this next trait you have two good talents. You have March of the Damned, basically reduces or increases the duration of your Wraith Walk, so it is very good for mobility. And you have Tightening Grasp, which will reduce your Garfin's Grasp cooldown and give movement speed decrease on your death and decay, so it's very good to handling a lot of ads. So depending on the situation, if you want more mobility or you want to be able to handle the ads more easily, you go with Tightening Grasp or Marsh of the Damned. Now on the tier, at the moment the best one is Fall Bulwark, because not only it will increase your maximum health, which will give you more health obviously, but what that will do is, so Death Strike, it heals you for a minimum of 10% of your maximum health, so the more health you do, the more healing Death Strike will do. Plus, since you're taking Ossuary, these two talents synergize very good with each other, so at the moment it's the best talent. Also want to point out Rune Tap. In certain situations it probably be helpful, because it's basically an extra DR, so damage mitigation. Cooldown, it's 25-second recharge, 25% damage, reducing damage taken. So in any fight that you know that you'll take damage regularly and you know when that is, you can use this talent. For the last tier, the best talent for survivability is Purgatory, because basically a shit death mechanic, so it will allow you to correct a lot of mistakes both made by you and your healers. But if you're in a fight or in a situation where you're really not worrying about dying, you can use either Bone Storm or Blood Mirror. Blood Mirror will be a single target DPS increase, and Bone Storm will be an AoE DPS increase. So now let's go to your traits, artifact weapon traits. Once you get your artifact weapon, you'll get Consumption. Now this is basically a 45-second cooldown AoE heal. Well, AoE heal, or heal you, dealing AoE damage. So the more mobs you have, the more you will be healed. This is a very low cooldown and deals a pretty hefty amount of damage, so you can use it regularly throughout the fight, and it's a very nice heal, so don't hold back on using it. Now, once you get your artifact weapon, the path you want to take is you go up here to Sanguinary Affinity, then you move towards Empiric Fangs and go all the way down to Unending Thirst. That's your first elite trait that you want to take. This will make it so whenever you have Blood Shield, so it's your mastery, so the shield that you get with Death Strikes, you will receive 25% leech and your Death Strike will deal 25% damage. So it's a pretty nice upgrade. After you went this route here, you want to go up here and go to the Green Perseverance and take your second elite trait, that is Skeletal Shattering. This basically makes it so your Bone Shield has a chance equal to a critical strike to absorb more damage, so it's kinda like a critical block. Not as powerful obviously, but it can be pretty helpful. After this one you want to take Blood Fist and then go to Ironheart, Vein Render, and then take your third elite trait, that is Umbilicus Eternus. Now this will make it so when your Vampiric Blood expires, you get a shield equal to 5 times the damage of your Blood Plague. So in AoE situations, when you have your Blood Plague on a lot of mobs and you pop your Vampiric Blood, after it ends you get a pretty nice shield, so it's not as good compared to the other two, but it's really helpful nonetheless, so you go to it for the third one. Now after you've done with this, you can kind of take in whichever order you want, but the way I'm going is Meat Shield, then Dance of Darkness and Mouth of Hell. So these 3 ones are the next best 3 that you can take, so whichever order, it doesn't really matter, but take those 3 next and leave Coagulopathy, hard words to pronounce, will be your last trait to take. So this will be your all artifact weapon. You then will have like Paragon trait to increase your maximum health at the end, so you'll take that eventually after you've done everything. Now I want to point out certain traits that you want to prioritize when picking your relics. Now at the moment the relics that have more item level still better for you because of the increased stats, but if you have a choice between 2 relics that have the same item level, the traits you want to go first is Vampiric Fangs. You will then want to go for Meat Shield, that increases your stamina. And I didn't explain, but Vampiric Fangs basically makes your Vampiric Blood more powerful. It's a very powerful trait, so if you can, go for this one. Then for Meat Shield, that basically increases your stamina, and like I said before, stamina will not only increase your maximum health, but by doing that will also increase the healing done by your Death Strike, so it's very good. And then after this one, you want either the Iron Heart, that's this one right here, that increases your armor, or the Green Perseverance, that increases your parry. And that's it for the artifact weapons. Now for your stat Prio, you'll want on the first one Strength, then Haste, then Critical Strike, then Mastery, and then Versatility. And for your Rune Forge for your weapon, you'll either want to use Valiant Crusader if you want to increase your DPS, or you want to use Stoneskin Gargoyle if you want to increase your survivability. Now while in combat, you'll want to maintain your Blood Plague on all your enemies, so if your enemies around you either don't have Blood Plague or it's falling off, you want to just pop Blood Boil and everyone will get it. After that, you want to make use of your Crimson Scourge procs. This will basically make your Death Strike free. Not Death Strike, Death and Decay, sorry. Will make you Death and Decay free. So as you've seen the talents, it will increase your runic power generation, and it will also make your Art Strike cleave to all enemies, so you really want to make use of that. Pay attention, you actually have to stand on top of your Death Strike, so make sure you're doing that. After that, you want to make sure you're maintaining 5 Bone Shield stacks with your Marrand, because with the Ossuary talent it will decrease the cost of your Death Strike, which means more Death Strikes. After that, when you spend any excess runic power on your Death Strikes, now don't use it freely, because it's your main source of active mitigation. So if you're full HP and you still have a lot of room for runic power, don't just use it and waste it. Just wait until you actually need it or you're getting full runic power. After that, you wanna spend any free runes you have on Art Strike. This is your biggest runic power generator, so it will give you more death strikes. And after that, you wanna use any free global cooldowns whenever you don't have any rune or any runic power or any Crimson Scourge procs on blood boils, because might as well use it, right? Also want to point out on AoE the biggest difference that you do in your rotation. If you have 3 or more targets, you no longer need to keep the 5 stacks of Bone Shield. Only try to keep 1 stack, because it's basically 20% damage reduction, and it also increases your haste, so you always want to make sure you have at least 1. For your cooldowns, you have anti-magic shell that you can use on any magic damage reduction. So anytime you're going to be hit by a magic ability, you can use anti-magic shell. You have vampiric blood, as I've mentioned earlier. It's a very powerful cooldown. It will increase your maximum health, and it will increase all healing you receive. So it will pretty much like have double effect on your death strike, because not only you have more HP, so it heals more, and it also increases your healing, so it heals even more. Plus it also increases all the healing from your healer, so it's a very powerful cooldown. Make sure you make use of that. Plus you have the Red Thirst talent, which will pretty much give you from time to time, and you have more vampiric bloods than you usually would get. And for your final and really big cooldown, you have Dancing Rune Weapon. It's a 3-minute cooldown now, but it gives you 40% parry, which will be very good for physical ability, so you have an increased chance to dodge that or parry that in this case. And it will also mimic your abilities, which means that you can apply multiple blood plagues on the same targets, and you can also mimic your death strikes and heart strikes and all that for increased runic power and increased healing, increased shield, and even for Marrow to increase the number of bone shield charges you get. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope I was helpful to you guys and you have managed to learn anything about Blood Knights. So thanks, and I'll see you guys later.